Well, at these points, Jeremy, they haven't really said what's going to be on the agenda, but it is a very inaugural meeting of this mediation team. We know that during the very recent SADC Double Troika Summit in the Angolan capital in Luanda, there was a decision that with, of course, now the president having this task of running South Africa, him also being a chair of SADC, he certainly does need an additional support. So by virtue of that, there was a decision that he needs a support team. So one of the very prominent people who are appointed to this very particular team includes the former Deputy Chief Justice, Dikgang Moseneke, including 3 Deputy Ministers, Basic Education Minister Enver Seti, also Ellen Molekane, who's the State Security Deputy Minister, alongside the International Relations and Cooperation Deputy Minister Regina Mhaule. So they'll be meeting for the very first time to really just look at what's going to happen. But we know what is very important, Jeremy, is that it's a race against time for the Kingdom of Lesotho. They need to present another report, which is more of an updates report to SADC in August when the SADC leaders are meeting. So essentially it's all about the very all-important recommendations which were tabled by the facilitator, of course, when he was still the Deputy President, Cyril Ramaphosa, has always been right at the heart of making sure that there is stability in Lesotho.
And Khayelihle, on the ground itself in Lesotho, while things recently have perhaps been a little bit more stable, it is fair to say that political tension continues to bubble under.
Well, that's the true position that is currently happening in Lesotho. And also what we know, Jeremy, is that currently SADC does have its own mission, that also its term has been recently extended. So the police from some SADC countries will continue to be positioned in Lesotho. So in terms of the duration, they'll be there until at least September 2018, of course, this year. So a lot has been happening in terms of the stabilization of the process. And we know for some time, Jeremy, I mean, when you look at Lesotho, it's about 2 million population, but when you look at what has been happening, a lot of things have been happening. And when you look at what has been the position of the Southern African development communities, that they don't want to see any change of government through unconstitutional means. When you also see the tension between the police and the members of the Lesotho Defense Force, that's where the concern has been. So now the issues about making sure that the reforms, for example, are introduced, making sure that the military, the Lesotho Defense Force, for example, is not meddling into the political affairs. So they are depoliticized, but also the police, they understand that they serve the people of Lesotho as opposed to pledging any allegiance to any leader.